It's a beautiful new day, and when it comes to top-notch quality family entertainment, you know where we are. We're spot on, people. This is Wake Up Nigeria.
It is. Every journey begins with a step, and we are glad that you've taken that first step with us this morning by joining us bright and early.
So let's give you a little splash of sunshine, something to brighten up your day, shall we?
The show is fully loaded. No, like...
Yeah.
No, okay, no.
Wow, really? It's a Thursday.
Yeah, it's fully loaded, so stay with us. And of course, you would not regret that. My name is Mike Mexicano.
And I'm Titilayo Uniso. Please stream with us. Don't be afraid of him. No, just stream on our website. That's tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook Live at TVC Connect.
If you want to interact with us, you can send in your comments. The hashtag would be Wake Up Nigeria on TVC on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yes, sir. So, we know that you know, but we want to be sure that you know that other people know about our app. That didn't make sense, did it? But you know what I was trying to say. Our app is available for download. And just in case you didn't know where to go, just visit the Android or iOS store, download our app so you can watch us from your mobile devices anywhere in the world.
So I counted like 7 no's in your statement.
I know that you...
Yeah, I count like 7 no's, but all we do on this show is yes. Anything you want, just let us know. We say yes to you. We'll hit up the show today
For
with
our first musical performance, Afro-pop singer Oladon joins us. He'll be performing his song, Pullover.
And then right after that, we have another musical performance, another Afro-pop singer, songwriter, Playboy.
Everyone has those things in their closet or on their desk that they'll probably not really need. Etiquette segment today with the amazing Janet Adetu will be focusing on decluttering, so you have some extra space to breathe.
You know how it is on Thursdays. Now, this is not a full band as per band, but hey, we have a musical rendition here. The Happy Quartet will be here with stringing their violins and giving us some wonderful musical performance this Thursday.
While on tech, Mike will be reviewing one of the biggest tech events in the world, CS 2020. You need to stick around for that one. And of course, we have so many great plans for today's show. There's also an art display happening. Yeah.
That's it. Abdul Wadud Afolabi, who's a professional artist and photographer who tells stories using his art. And he'll be on the show today. He'll be showcasing some of his best works. Always seek knowledge. Like that.
Well, meanwhile, not to worry. We have an amazing package for you.
Yeah.
An amazing show happening today. You know, we always like to pack Thursdays full of amazing stuff.
Drinks?
Sorry?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Alrighty.
You know, when you said you like, oh, good morning.
Morning,
everyone. You said something about learning from the tech segment. So after last week's tech segment, yeah, I can't remember where I went, but I remember there was Wi-Fi. And then I was, you know how it is, for free Wi-Fi. And then like, hey.
I beg you.
Let them not come and take my life. Let me just stay.
So maybe just check out, use a VPN. Just check out for a VPN, and a VPN would help secure you.
Yeah. So there are VPN apps now.
Exactly.
Like I have one on my phone, VPN 360 or something like that. So it kind of helps to secure it. But there's still some information you need, even when you have a VPN. It's long.
Use my data.
Exactly.
Just be safe.
Exactly. Or get your own modem, you know, your own.
Yeah, but you know that thing of when you're somewhere, you just know there's free Wi-Fi. It's just, you know that free, it's free, it's not paid for. You just want to take it.
I can still remember a movie where there was a particular guy driving around in his car, and he didn't have data, and he was trying to get Wi-Fi, and he just kept signing on to people's Wi-Fi as he was driving along. Apparently, people were not even putting passwords on their Wi-Fi. So he just like, oh, their Wi-Fi is on. He'll just
in
click
Nigeria,
to
right?
enter.
Like, it's not in Nigeria.
So we need to do that.
And they will use their ancestors.
Especially in church. You don't go to church and you lock Wi-Fi. It shouldn't be so.
Wow.
Wow.
Freely you have received, freely give.
Wow.
You know, so I've seen weird names for Wi-Fi's. What's the weirdest name you've seen?
Do not touch this.
No.
Do not tap on this.
No.
What's the weirdest
So my
you've seen?
husband was virus is here. We are enter. That was one. And then there was one. Titi is kind to share.
Wow. I'm sure you're the one that put that.
What's the weirdest you've seen?
I've seen click and die.
Click and die. That's one. Connect and die. Fear will be catching you to press.
I say, no, I don't want this one.
Goodness me.
Different ways. But, you know, there's this particular day.
Sorry, one more. Trojan horse.
Oh, Trojan horse. But you know what? You have to be a geek or somebody who is quite knowledgeable to understand what the Trojan horse is.
Trojan horse is. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, I'm not interested.
You have viruses that are Trojans. So if somebody that Trojan horse, this guy, you want to have a...
But you know the funny thing, there's really nothing there. They just want to scare you away.
But there's some, be careful. So like you said, if it's my Wi-Fi and I have administrative roles in that Wi-Fi, there's a probability that I could access your device.
Yeah.
Wow. I can.
Yeah.
I can't because you logged into it. So it's almost like you entered my city. So it's not just
I need
easy.
to see what you're about.
You understand? It's not just easy, but you can. There's that possibility.
And with all these instances of people getting hacked, identities being stolen, things like that, it's scary, but it's actually happening. So people like to be in denial, you know, and there's some people like to have just tech apathy. They don't even want phones safe. They don't want laptop.
They don't do online. They don't do anything online banking because they're scared. And then finally, I think I still saw this again recently. Don't just go and be dropping your account number anyhow. Somebody said drop your account number. I'll credit the first 10.
That thing is risky.
So maybe, okay, you know what happens? Maybe on Monday, I'll look at it. Just remind me, account number, the whole you that drop your account number. They'll use you as conduit
to your account.
Right, let's head over to the news now. Ibrahim is on standby.
One thing about Wi-Fi tapper is that is when they connect to your Wi-Fi, that is when they realize they have apps they need to update. They have so many things they need to download. And then the next thing, everything is gone.
That's
true, very true.
Very true.
15th of January is marked as a day Nigeria honors our fallen heroes. The peak of the usually solemn event was the laying of wreath at the statue of the unknown soldier, which was performed first by President Muhammad Buhari. But beyond the laying of wreath, to commemorate the Armed Forces Remembrance Day, TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akonde reports on other activities that shaped the day.
The Armed Forces Remembrance Day is one military ritual Mr. President takes very serious, not just as the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, but also a retired Major General. If you looked closely at his face during the ceremony, you would see that feeling of nostalgia expressed by Mr. President. He knew exactly what to do at every particular time with little prompting from the protocol officers. This is a ceremony that Mr. President understands its significance, and beyond all of this has also brought to the front burner the issue of the armed forces, their challenges, the welfare of the armed forces, their fight against insurgency. The significance of this is to pay respect to the fallen heroes, those who have laid down their lives, who have been in the front line fighting to defend the sovereignty of the country and protect it against external attacks. And also we had dignitaries come here to lay wreath, the symbolic laying of wreath as a mark of respect for these fallen soldiers, from the President, the Vice President, the Chief Justice of the Federation, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, the Senate President was represented here, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, and even a widow of a fallen soldier was also here to lay a wreath as a mark of respect for her husband and other soldiers who have died on the front line defending the country's sovereignty. Mr. President at different occasions has said that the welfare of the military and strengthening the capacity of the military is a priority for his administration, and moving forward we expect to see some of these improvements in the welfare and also the capacity of the Nigerian Army. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
At least 6 persons have been killed and 5 others injured following an attack on the convoy of the Emir of Potoskum in Yobe State, Umaru Bobara along the Kaduna-Zaria Expressway in Kaduna State. The spokesperson of the police command in the state, DSP Yakubu Sabo, says a gunman intercepted the convoy and immediately opened fire on sighting the entourage, killing 4 aides of the emir and 2 other passengers of a commercial bus. DSP Sabo added that the gunmen, dressed in military camouflage, also abducted an unidentified number of passengers before the arrival of security operatives. He also noted that a manhunt of the gunmen has already commenced to rescue victims and arrest the suspects. The injured, including the Emir of Potoskum, were rushed to the hospital for medical attention. Still on security, 5 aid workers abducted by Boko Haram insurgents last December have been released. According to reports, the release of the 5 abductees, 2 females and 3 males, was facilitated by the State Security Service. 2 of the abductees are staff of Alima, an international NGO, 1 from Solidarity International, 1 from International Organization on Migration, and the last one from Red Cross. The workers were kidnapped on December the 22nd after gunmen believed to be Boko Haram terrorists ambushed their vehicle between Monguno and Damaturu. It was a reconciliatory moment as Senator Hope Uzodimma was sworn in as the governor of Imo State. A national chairman of the APC, Adams Oshomole, former governor of the state, Senator Rochas Okorocha, and other party chieftains were seen beaming with smiles and congratulating Governor Uzodimma after he received his certificate of return in Abuja. The happy governor attributed his gubernatorial victory to a functionary judiciary as he thanked the people of Imo State for giving him the mandate. The proportion of Nigerian households that experienced better power supply increased to 37% in fourth quarter of last year from 36% in third quarter 2019. NBA's quarterly trend analysis of power supply in 2019 shows that the highest improvement in power supply was in first quarter and fourth quarter 2019, while the lowest supply occurred in second quarter of 2019. Further findings revealed that the highest average cumulative hours of power supply were recorded in the month of January 2019, which stood at 10.2 hours per day, whereas the month of April experienced the lowest in terms of average cumulative hours of power supply of 9.0 hours per day. This cumulative hourly average recorded in January 2019 is inadequate when compared to an ideal 24 hours of power supply, which is required for the overall progress and development of the country. And Toyota has recalled nearly 700,000 vehicles in the U.S. to fix faulty fuel pumps. The recall covers 2018 and 2019 that includes Lexus LS500, LC500, RC350, RC300, GS350, IS300, ES350, LX570, and GX460 and RX350 models. Also to be recalled are 2018 and 2019 Toyota 4Runner, Camry, Highlander, Land Cruiser, Sequoia, Sienna, Tacoma, and Tundra models. Toyota is still developing repairs. Owners will be notified by mail in mid-March this year. And that's it on the news update for this hour. It's time to let you know what the weather will look like today.
And we're going to begin with the Punch newspaper this morning, Operation Amotekun. Governors to meet Buhari as Soyinka Agbakoba, others lampoon AGF. Southwest operation has come to stay, Nobel laureate tells Malami. If political solution fails, we'll meet in court, says Akeredolu. It also says here, of course, okay, it shows us photo stories here of our president, Muhammadu Buhari, and a widow, Mrs. Esther Osai, at the commemoration of the 2020 Armed Forces Remembrance Day in Abuja yesterday. It says here how NDDC awarded over 1 trillion naira fraudulent contracts, according to ED. Motorists, commuters spend hours in Lagos-Ibadan Expressway gridlock. On Imo, I have 39 more prophecies, says Mbaka. Just beside the masthead here, it says, sister denies account opened for her by minor. Turkey eyes road contracts, others in Nigeria. Right at the top of the page here, Nigeria's rice import declines by 3.7 MMT, says NEPC. Uzodinma sworn in, begins probe of 3 ex-governors. That's interesting. First thing he's doing. Federal government implements finance law, charges 7.5% VAT on transactions. And finally, Armed Forces Day. Buhari, Osinbajo, Lawan, others eulogize fallen soldiers. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch.
Yeah, we've got the Vanguard here this Thursday. Southwest governors, no going back on Operation Amotekun. We'll pursue it to logical conclusion, Akeredolu says. And we're ready to copy it. Middle Belt leaders respond. Malami lacks power to ban it. Governor Makinde also adds. And Amotekun has come to stay. Professor Soyinka also speaking his mind on that. Imo Ihedioha cries foul as Uzodinma takes office. Herdsmen flee Ondo community, abandon 200 cows. And Nigeria's crude oil production dips by 95,000 barrels per day. And why we pull down Fela's statue, says the Lagos State government. And Armed Forces Remembrance Day, governors seek better welfare for heroes' families. Finally, Idli Arugbo, judge urges parties to explore out-of-court settlement. And that's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard.
I'm moving as quickly as possible to the Guardian newspaper now. It says, Yoruba leaders, senior lawyers knock Malami on Amotekun. No law prevents citizens from protecting their lives, says Babalola. You overstepped your brief, Adams tells AGF, as Semota Defense Project. No going back on security initiative, declares Akeredolu, Makinde, Soyinka. Now, the story begins on the cover, quite a bit of information on the cover here, and wraps up on page 6. Just beside the photo story here, it says on the education pages, how hasty public policy inflicted pains, grief on prospective UTME candidates, how court's ruling on Imo may affect Ganduje. INEC presents certificate of return to Uzodinma. New governor slams restriction on states' bank accounts. Atiku urges PDP Ihedioha to accept verdict. Reading on now, it says WHO releases urgent global health challenges for next decade. Wow, for the next decade. Goodness me. Anger as truck accident grounds Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Lady hires soldier to beat up neighbor but ends up killing own sister. How sad. Finally, experts explain hackers' focus on banks in Nigeria, sub-Saharan Africa. That's what we have on the cover of The Guardian.
All right, we'll take a quick break now and be back with the traffic situation in Lagos. Hope it's better today than it was yesterday.
Welcome back. Now we are about to give tips on the best route for you this morning to get to your destination faster. As always, we encourage that you help other road users by dropping relevant traffic situation reports on all our social media pages using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria. This morning, I'll be starting my trip from Ojodu Bega bus stop all the way to CMS Central Park. Now, if it's applying this route, it's going to take you approximately 52 minutes, which is actually better than yesterday, because yesterday was like an hour, 10, 15 minutes. So we're going to start the trip now. So from Ojodu Bega bus stop, We have free-flowing traffic, good stuff, all the way through to you connect to the Express, free-flowing through the Otedola Estate, free-flowing through CMD Road, Axis, free-flowing through to Secretariat bus stop. Now, at Secretariat bus stop, there's slight traffic there, but just after you come, you pass the bus stop, it's free-flowing for like maybe another 5-7 minutes, and now it's the traffic picks up again. Don't know what's causing the traffic there, but it eases up at some point, and then we have free flowing through motorways, free flowing. Now you might, if you want to take an alternative, that would that's where you go off to the Ojota axis. That would take you 2 minutes. It's just 2 minutes delay, but I think it's just safe to stay on the third mainland axis. Now, okay, oh sorry, it's saying that it's better to actually go off through to Ojota. Now, when you come down from the MK Abiola Gardens Road, I think that's what it's called. Now, there's a thick traffic that should take you maybe another 15-20 minutes from the Total petrol station through Ojota bus stop, Ojota Market, just you pass Tipper Garage, and then as you're approaching Maryland, it eases up, thankfully. And then you have free-flowing up until the Maryland bus stop. Shortly after the Maryland bus stop, there's a slight traffic there, but it eases up and picks up again. So I think you're just going to be going in and out of the traffic. But after you pass the Maryland Mall, now there's free-flowing traffic. It's free-flowing up until you get to Ilukpeju axis, that's the town planning way. There's slight traffic at that point. Then it eases up and picks up again, but it's just, I think it's just bits, pockets of traffic here and there. But it's free-flowing all the way through Shomolu. I think I can see Shomolu, but that's not Shomolu, of course. There's a slight traffic at Coyote Street, from what I'm saying, but it's eases up. So there's just pockets of traffic here and there. Now through to Jibowu, where we have all the motor transport companies, but it picks up again at Ojuelegba over Ojuelegba Bridge. Now there's a lot going on at that axis at this time of the morning, so you shouldn't be surprised. But shortly after that, you have free flowing again till Stadium. At Stadium, we have thick traffic. Now I see a lot of traffic here all the way to Ikpori. But at the Eco Bridge, once you climb the Eco Bridge, it's free-flowing, thankfully. But as you're coming off the bridge, there's traffic at that point, because now there's a lot of roads connecting at that point. But if you just take it easy and try to not allow anyone, because it's too early to get angry. This is even still January, so we should be able to not get so upset. But as at Leventis bus stop, there's slight traffic, but it just eases up right after, and it's actually free-flowing. But when you get to Marina Road, now, I think if you're in a public transport, you might want to come off and probably walk to where you get a better shuttle to get to your destination, because there's a lot of traffic there. Titi, Yomi, and Mike, any updates for me?
Yeah, there's a few updates here that I'm seeing, not on social media though.
Oh, okay.
I just, the social media looks a bit dry today because it's Thursday. Roads are a bit light, not too heavy. So on Iju Road, the only major traffic area on Iju Road happens to be around Fagba, which is usual because of the intersection in that area. But right after that, it's free all the way, and this entire area, Ogba, Yaya, Baton, College Road, all those areas are quite free heading into Ikeja. And even Ogba itself, Wemco Road, Acme Road, all those areas are quite free. I think everybody's just leaving their cars at home today. It seems like everybody's just like, you know what, I'm not even going to experience what I experienced yesterday. But around Ojo de Berga, though, it's the situation is slightly different. It's quite busy at Berga bus stop. I'm not sure what's happening in that area. And yeah, so heading into Lagos is still a bit busy because of that single lane. The diversion, and then the single lane that is. So if anything happens on that single lane, you know how it is. It can get really bad. So yeah, that's what I have here from.
Nothing too relevant on my end either. So I think we can wrap it up.
Okay, thank you very much. Just from Ajah to Boni Cantonment, it's not going to take you so long because today is Thursday. As expected, there's the cleaning of shops for shop owners, so there's less traffic. Just going to take you 55 minutes. Pockets of traffic at traffic lights, which is expected, but I'm sure you should have a good journey. Let me join them and see what's up and about in Lagos.
It's a really good question, actually.
What's popping?
Up and about? What's up
What's
and
popping?
About? Yeah. There are quite a few things, that are popping most days. You hear about some artists, some events, but I noted that people are still talking about the Oscar nominations. Of course, the Oscars is the Academy Awards, right? And I'm just like, you know what? Isn't it kind of getting old, the racist jabs? So a lot of people are saying, oh, because there were some amazing movies with African Americans, or well, at least colored people in it, that were not nominated. And there was like a whole lineup of white people that were nominated for the big names. I don't know. I just wanted to throw it out there. Don't you think it's old? Like, we've been talking about this thing for like 5-6 years. Is the Academy actually trying to shade Black people, or is it just the quality of their movies not making the cut?
I think there's something Stephen King said. Today is Thursday. He said it on Tuesday. I'm just trying to see whether I can find that the tweet. And one of the things, in fact, he said several things, and I'm just going to a few things. So Stephen King himself is part of the Academy.
Okay.
And one of the major things that he was driving at, because there's too many tweets here, one of the major things that he was driving at, he said, I'm not going to select a movie or vote for a movie with a consideration that it was a Black person or Hispanic or an international guy that did it. I'm just going to watch the film. If it meets the standard and it meets the quality, then I vote for it. For whatever, whether it's Best Picture, whether it's Best Actor, or whatever it is, it's based on quality. And then people were getting angry, oh, why don't you take diversity into consideration? You can't take diversity into consideration. It's essentially the quality of the film. What are you putting out there? What's the standard of what you're putting out there? And that is what gets it nominated. So I don't know why everyone is getting emotional about.
Yeah,
No, it's more about that. I would defer a bit. Now, out of the, for now, over 8,700 members of the Academy, voting members of the Academy is 84% white.
Wow.
And it is 75% male.
Wow.
And then it is about 70% over 60 years old.
Oh, wow.
Do you see that? So first of all, the main issue here, the main grouse, is that it should be a diverse pool. If you want to get the best of it, because look, as much as we try to want to say it, human beings, we're not logical. We are psychological, mostly. So people who tend to vote for, I mean, come on, if Lionheart got the nod and was there, and you were there, you'd want to vote for a Lionheart. I'm not saying that you have to.
I would want to.
You'd want to.
I'll be looking for reasons
to. So the main issue, first of all, is representation. If just 16%, you have to deal with Hispanics, you have to deal with Africans, you have to deal with, every other race. And then, so there's that feeling that, look, if this movie comes out, it might not be a problem. Now, out of the 20 major people who were nominated for Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, was only one Black.
Only one out of 20.
And now, this has been a constant. It is only when Blacks act subservient roles, that's when they are nominated. The last time, Lupita Nyong'o, in 2013, won the Best Supporting Actress for 12 Years a Slave, which she almost did not in that movie, by the way.
Yeah,
and you can imagine Cynthia Erivo, who is actually Nigerian-British, is the one I'm talking about. What was she nominated for? Harriet. She's playing Harriet Tubman. So you can imagine. So there's really a grouse. There's really a case for a grouse.
No, well, true.
There really is.
Well, it's...
there really is. No, there really is. And okay, you see a movie...
They do have a case. So what we are now saying is they should review the members of the Academy.
So they're working on it. This year, 920... I was chatting to Motala. 928 members were invited. And it was half of that 928 were women.
Okay.
So what they're doing is that they're trying, with every year, they're inviting people, they're trying to bridge that disparity. They're trying to do that. Do you understand? So they are working on it.
So I just want to read this guy's tweet. He said, As a writer, I am allowed to nominate in just 3 categories. That means it's not across board.
It's not across board.
Best picture, best adapted screenplay, and best original screenplay. For me, the diversity issue, as it applies to individual actors and directors, did not come up. That said, I would never consider diversity in matters of art.
Of art.
Only quality.
Quality. That's what
It
it
seems
should
to
be.
me that to do otherwise would be wrong.
Which is
So,
very logical.
You understand? I mean, I saw a movie by Chiwetel's directorial debut just a few days ago, and I thought it was a really good film. He had to learn the language,
Yes,
or Mozambican language or something like that, and it was. I thought it was powerful. There were some lapses, but it was a really powerful and emotive or emotional movie. As an African, you know, they were experiencing a drought, and so the story was really, really powerful. So as someone in Africa who has seen, you know, in parts, those kind of things happen, yeah, there's that connection that you have to the film, which would then make you feel like, okay, Chiwetel deserves a nomination, but he didn't even get any kind of nomination.
So the 5 movies
for
that
the
were
film as well.
nominated for Best International Feature, which used to be Best Foreign Language Film, 4 of them were from Europe, and then 1 from South Korea. You understand? And
So
that's what
none
I was
from
saying,
Africa,
None
yeah.
from Africa. So, okay, the movies were excellent. I'm not saying they were not excellent. They were good movies, but they're also good movies from Africa. Like you mentioned, this one now that came out. So, so they're saying that,
Eventually, they
okay,
even said
you have to find a way. This is politics.
Yeah, you have to balance
Yeah,
it.
eventually they even said the film was British. Like I don't understand. You get a film directed by an African. We are claiming him, but he was directed by an African about Africa, shot in Africa, and then you said it's a British film.
Honestly.
What's the deal? So, but for Best Picture, right? 9 movies are selected, and so there's the talk about. I don't know how many of them. How many? You seen Joker? You seen Joker?
I haven't seen
I've seen
it,
Joker.
but I heard it was really good.
There's Joker. There's 1917. There's The Irishman. You guys seen The Irishman?
Oh yeah.
So it was the cast is just crazy.
Yeah.
You had Robert De Niro, you had Joe Pesci, you had Al Pacino, and Martin Scorsese directed. So
Yeah.
go check out Irishman.
Oh,
then-
Irishman.
So
It's
we have to.
pretty
I have
long.
to-
It's
I have
about
to
3 hours
mention-
long. And
I have to mention Little Women. So if anyone watched Little Women as a child,
Little Women did.
the reboot or remake of it was just amazing.
Amazing, right?
All right.
Talk about this tomorrow.
Anyway,
Oscar special.
young
for movies.
filmmakers. We want young filmmakers, Nigerian filmmakers, to come up.
Don't worry,
Let's start churning out.
when I do my movie, it will get nominated.
Yeah, by the way,
and it will win.
When our 40 million comes, we'll take this break now.
Amen.
Don't go nowhere. We'll be right
40
back.
million, I guess.
Show me the step again. Show me the step again. Show me the step again. Like this. Huh? Hey, I'm learning. All right, talk to me. I have Afolayan Olajuwon Emmanuel, popularly known as Oladon. Now, he's a Lagos-born artist from Ekiti State and started his musical career not too long ago in 2018. He's been a music lover's favorite and is about to perform his song called Pullover. Yeah. All right, so tell me about Pullover. What's Pullover all about? Use your mic there.
Just all about a girl.
A girl?
My ex.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, she broke up with me.
When? In 2018?
No, 2019.
2019?
Yeah.
So you wrote the song and she broke...
It was painful though.
Wow.
Yeah. I had to do it.
Okay, all right.
Because I said, Shamaka, pullover, Amaka Wolewa. That is my new girlfriend right now.
Okay, you know what? I think we need to just hear the song. Once again, Oladon with Pullover.
I show for my crib, Makagini. They should do me the Sharagiri. Makagini. I'd never leave it for nobody. Makagini. They should do me the Sharagiri. Makagini. I'd never leave it for nobody. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Wow, you should see the studio right now. Everybody's been doing that step. I think it's a great song.
Yeah, thanks so much.
I think it's a really great song. Really great song. So, where's Amaka now? She started calling you now that you've released your own song. Yeah. She has?
Yeah.
Well,
She
you know,
that to me. She regret. Like,
eh,
she regret like doing that to me, hurting me for a long time.
Wow.
Not even doing anything.
wow,
Like I was broke though
wow.
for like
Was
3
in
months.
past tense.
Yeah,
Past
yeah,
tense. The
yeah,
money is coming.
Yeah, no, it's not how the money is coming. I'm still a student.
No, but you know, music and you know, going to school, it can't be easy now.
Yeah,
You
it's
know.
not easy. It's not easy at all to be a musician.
Eh.
Not gonna, you know.
But trust
Bring
me,
it
with this step you showed us now. What? Let's go again. Let's
Let's
go
go
again.
again.
Yeah,
You
let's
want
go. Let's
this?
go. One,
yeah,
two,
3.
three. And the
Bye.
money has entered. And with that, we have to take a quick break. But Wake Up Nigeria continues after this.
Well, it's the second hour of Wake Up Nigeria. If you're just tuning in, welcome to your #1 breakfast show.
This particular show is always refreshing. And of course, it's always refreshing to hear that. We have about 1 hour, 45 minutes to go, and there's still quite a lineup for you. It's a Thursday, so it's an artsy day. Of course, my name is Titilayo Oyinson.
And I'm Yomi Okwe. Remember that we are live on the internet right now at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook. So you can also send in your comments across the social media platforms.
Please use that hashtag Wake Up Nigeria on TVC. We have available for download just for you an app on Android and iOS stores. So with this app, you are covered watching Wake Up Nigeria and all the other great live TVC programs.
Yeah, and of course, you know something is always happening in the kitchen. Yeah. We've got Talk right there with Chef Toluwani.
With Chef Yinka from
Chef
Yinka
Yinka.
Sports.
Chef Yinka.
Yeah,
Chef
she's the
Yinka.
first-time chef on the show, so yay!
Hey, first time chef.
Welcome.
Yes, I am.
When they make their debut, you
Yeah.
know, we're always excited.
It's always a spread.
Thank you
Yes,
for having
look
me.
at that.
That's a huge spread.
Woo!
What's that? Is that chicken? And
What do we
snails?
have here?
There's prawns here. We
Oh.
have bell peppers, and we have snails here. This is tomato mix, and then we have a seasoning for cooking.
Who's in the kitchen today? Am I in
Yeah.
the kitchen today?
Wow, Yummy. Wow.
You
It's a
are.
question.
First.
a
Yay, then
question.
we'll hear about this.
You know what? We'll find out who's hanging out with our new chef in a bit.
Yeah.
But we have to tell you about the lineup.
Yes, indeed. Our second musical performance today is from another Afro-pop singer and songwriter, Pray Boy.
Everyone has those things in their closet or at their desk that they're probably not going to need in the nearest future. Etiquette today with Janet Adetu will be focusing on decluttering so that you have some extra space to breathe.
And for live band musical rendition, we have Happy Quarter. Happy Quartet there.
And there's still tech. Yes, and on Tech Today, Mike will be reviewing one of the biggest tech events in the world.
And an art display, we have Abdul Wold Falabi, a professional artist and photographer who tells stories using his art. And this show, on the show today, he's going to be talking to us about some of his best works.
Okay, yeah, so we have quite a lineup for you today. So many great things, especially on Thursdays.
I was upset that he didn't propose, but that is not it.
Tech, Mike.
what
Today,
about
hope
the-
you're not going to say we can't even use our phones.
No, it depends on the
Why
kind
don't
of
you use your
phone.
devices?
It depends on the kind of phone. Which movie was it I was watching? Where it was La Casa de Papel. Money Heist. I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
You've seen Money Heist,
seen
yeah?
Money Heist.
Where they were trying to, the era, there's a lot that can happen with tracking.
Is that a movie or
It's a series.
It's a series. Great one, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. So, where they're trying to track, and analog products are harder to track.
Yeah.
Almost impossible to track. And the digital products, So when you want to do some kind of very, very strong things, so far using analog products and all of that, and analog phones and all that. I mean, your phones with the
because they
cable.
don't have any GPS and
Yeah.
so
So
you
you
can't
understand,
locate them.
you understand. So and then people are trying to. There's someone was trying to route a phone call and didn't want them to track it. And what happened was that they called the number. Somebody who's supposed to be an agent picks up this phone, and then dials the other number, and then puts them together. So yes, you can hear, but digitally, you cannot track from one to the other.
Right.
It was just some very cool stuff there. Do you understand? And then you put it together, and then you drop it, and it just moves off, and then the people are communicating. But you can, when you're listening, and you can't. Some cool stuff like that.
It's a scary thought, though. It's actually a really scary thought. The fact that some people can trace your life history. They can trace when you had your first toothache. Like they can track your medical records, everything. It's a really scary thought. But hey, that's why we have people like Mike updating us on tech.
We have to go to the news now, and Brian is on standby.
Mike, stop giving out all of those information, all of those strategies. DSS is watching this program. You have to be very careful.
It's not me.
At least 6 persons have been killed and 5 others injured following an attack on the convoy of the Emir of Potiskum in Yobe State, Umaru Bubaram, along the Kaduna-Zaria Expressway in Kaduna State. The spokesperson of the police command in the state, DSP Yakubu Sabo, says the gunmen intercepted the convoy and immediately opened fire on sighting the entourage, killing 4 aides of the Emir and 2 other passengers of the commercial bus. DSP Sabo added that the gunmen dressed in military camouflage also abducted an unidentified number of passengers before the arrival of security operatives. He also noted that a manhunt of the gunmen has already commenced to rescue victims and arrest the suspect. The injured, including the Emir of Potiskum, were rushed to the hospital for medical attention. Still on security matters, 5 aid workers abducted by Boko Haram insurgents last December have been released. According to reports, the release of the 5 abductees, 2 females and 3 males, was facilitated by the State Security Service. 2 of the abductees are staff of Alima, an international NGO, one from Solidarity International, one from International Organization on Migration, and the last one from the Red Cross. The workers were kidnapped on December the 22nd after gunmen believed to be Boko Haram terrorists ambushed their vehicle between Monguno and Damaturu. It was a reconciliatory moment as Senator Hope Uzodinma was sworn in as the governor of Imo State. The national chairman of the APC, Adams Ashomole, former governor of the state, Senator Rocha Zokorocha, and other party chieftains were seen beaming with smiles and congratulating Governor Uzodinma after he received his certificate of return in Abuja. The happy governor attributed his gubernatorial victory to a functionary judiciary as he thanked the people of Imo State for giving him the mandate. Toyota has recalled nearly 700,000 vehicles in the U.S. to fix 40 fuel pumps. The recall covers 2018 and 2019 that includes Lexus LS500, LC500, RC350, RC300, GS350, IS300, ES350, LX570, GX460 and RX350 models. Also to be recalled are 2018 and 2019 Toyota 4Runner Camry, Highlander, Land Cruiser, Sequoia, Sienna, Tacoma and Tundra models. Toyota is still developing repairs. Owners will be notified by mail in mid-March this year. The Russian Prime Minister and all other government officials have resigned as part of sweeping constitutional changes that could see President Vladimir Putin extend his hold on power. In his annual address to the parliament, President Putin thanked members of the government for their work, but added that not everything worked out. The surprise announcement came after the president proposed constitutional amendments that would strengthen the powers of the prime minister and parliament at the expense of the presidency. Taking power from the presidency and handing it to parliament could signal a power shift that has been long speculated about in Russia. Putin's critics have suggested that he's considering various scenarios to return control of the country after his presidential term ends in 2024, including the option of becoming prime minister with extended powers. And that's another news. Weather update is next.
Welcome to Sports News. Head coach of Nigeria Super Eagles, Gannett Raw, has entered the last 7 months of his deal with the Nigerian Football Federation. Raw's current deal will end this August. Reports indicate that the German could get an extension to his contract as talks could begin next week. The NFF appointed the 66-year-old gaffer in August 2016 after the exit of Sunday Olise, who resigned. He has been in charge of 39 games with the Super Eagles, recording 22 wins, 7 draws and 10 losses. Raw qualified Nigeria for the World Cup in Russia 2018, and he achieved a third-place finish at the Africa Cup of Nations in 2019. The Cameroonian Football Federation, FECAFOOT, has confirmed that the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations will start on the 9th of January. The tournament was scheduled to take place in June and July, but was changed because of the unfavorable weather in Cameroon at that time of the year. It means a number of Premier League clubs could be without first-team players at that stage of the season. The Confederation of African Football had moved the Nations Cup up to the summer, and the 2019 edition held in Egypt was the first to be held in June. The change back to a January start means that the tournament will not clash with the extended Club World Cup being held in China in June 2021. Super Eagles midfielder Ogenyo Onazi has linked up with Turkish Super League club Denizlispor on a 1.5-year contract after leaving Trabzonspor. Onazi joined Trabzonspor from Italian outfit Lazio in August 2016. He made 79 appearances for the club and scored 7 goals. The 27-year-old recently returned to action after spending almost a year on the sidelines due to an Achilles tendon injury. He's expected to make his debut for Denizlispor against champions Galatasaray on Sunday. And also in transfer news, Real Madrid have agreed a £47 million deal with Ajax for highly rated Dutch midfielder Donny van de Beek. The Ajax star has been one of Europe's most wanted midfielders, and Real have been in the market for a creative midfielder since last summer as they seek a long-term replacement for Luka Modric. And that's all on sports for today. We'll take this breather and go nowhere. When we return, we'll look at the headlines in the papers.
Yes, our next performer this morning is Oluwasegun Solomon Olowole, also known as Playboy. He's an Afro-pop artist and songwriter. He is here to perform one of his songs titled Keregbe. Did I get that right?
Yeah, you get it right.
So what's Keregbe?
Yeah, Keregbe means I was like talking about a broken calabash.
Oh, okay.
You know, you can take a broken calabash to a river. It's just like it's like a proverb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what inspired the song?
Yeah, actually, I'm inspired by King Sunny Ade.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So that was what inspired the song.
Yeah.
So how long have you been in music?
I've been in music. I've been doing music. Let me say 6 years. Professionally 4 years.
4 years.
Yes.
So how many songs have you dropped?
So far, I've dropped 4 songs.
4 songs.
So
Is
far.
Keregbe your fourth or your first?
No, Keregbe was my fourth.
Your
But I have so
fourth.
many songs recorded.
Recorded. Oh, okay. So 2020, what are your plans?
2020, my plans are, one of my plans is,
Yes.
right now I have Keregbe video.
Oh, okay.
So my plan is to take it to the world. So that's
and
one
show
of my
the world,
plans.
okay? So I'm going to let you blow our minds away and show us Keregbe.
Okay, I'm set.
Okay.
Ayé mi Ọlọ́run ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ ló wà. Ọlọ́run jọ̀ọ́ ṣá máa ṣọ́ mi. Ẹ̀dá mi dákun ṣá máa kẹ́ mi. Kèrègbè tó fọ́ dẹ̀yìn lẹ́yìn odò. 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 Óyá alárùbá óyá dé.
Very nice one there by Playboy. I love it. Anyway, it's still just about 2 weeks into the new year, so this is still decision period. And everyone has those things in their closet or on their desk or in their minds, actually, that probably need a little bit of decluttering. And etiquette today, we have Janet Adetu, who's going to be focusing on decluttering, one of the major issues that people have, and they don't know how it affects them on a day-to-day basis, even their productivity and all of that. And we're just going to go straight to it so that we can do as much as possible within the time that we have. So decluttering, that's a very big deal.
It is.
In our lives.
Yes. So you're going to excuse my voice today.
Yes, definitely.
The weather. All right. Decluttering is really, really important, especially as we are still in the new year, still in the month of January. It is a new decade. All right, and you have to do things really different from before. Basically, to declutter is to really like release yourself of all those things that are causing claustrophobia, making you not think properly, not making you produce or be productive. So I would say for me, if you're looking at starting the new year with a new vision, new dreams, new ideas, you know, a new innovation, you have to declutter. And I'm going to just tell you a few things that you should declutter and start from now. You should declutter your goals. So maybe last year you had a lot of wild dreams and you're saying next year, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Start off by reducing some of those goals to just a few. Why? Because you want to achieve them, all right? Start with like 3 or 4 main goals and go after them properly. Why I'm saying that is because when we have so many goals, we don't even know where to start and we don't even know where to end.
So
and
reduce
most times
from,
we drop them.
Yeah, reduce from
So,
20, 25 to
maybe
like
some
3
of them
or 4.
are so nice, wild. Keep them as dreams and visions in one safe corner that you're going to pick up later on, okay? So with your goals, prune them down, declutter them to like 3 or 4 main top goals.
So declutter your goals.
Declutter your goals so that you can make them achievable. And that means make them SMART goals, you know, reduce them down to a certain time. Within 3 months, within the second quarter of 2020, I want to have achieved this. Maximum a year. All right? Then you want to start off again with your environment, okay? And I'm going to say, let's start with the home. The first thing you need to declutter in the home is probably your wardrobe.
Exactly.
So maybe last year you gained some weight or you lost some weight. So you look at your wardrobe and you have all these clothes there. So there are 5 R's that I'm going to mention here when it comes to decluttering your wardrobe. Do you need to remove some clothes? All right, that is really important. You don't need them anymore. You need to remove them. Are you planning on reusing some clothes? Are you planning on recycling some clothes? You want to give them out to some people that, you know, hand-me-downs. You know, you've got junior ones that you want to give them down to. Are you planning on replacing them? Because, you know, I've used this, it's worn out, I want to replace it. Or are you planning on restoring them? So some of them, they still look good, they're still new, but because of your size or because of something, you want to reduce it, you want to enlarge it. So there are 5 R's. I said replace, reuse, restore, remove,
and
what again?
Sorry, just give me one moment.
So you
restore.
You want to restore it.
Yeah.
You want to reuse it. You want to replace it. You want to recycle it, or you want to remove it.
Or you want to remove it.
Yes.
So, so for many people, it's almost like when you open your wardrobe, you're like, oh, my mother gave me this, or
Yes.
I got this when I was in Brussels, and so you just have this emotional attachment. And passion
and
for
then
them.
that means you want to just keep them. You know, you don't want to remove them. You want to reuse them and keep on reusing them.
There are people who have stuff from years and years ago, and they just refuse to get rid of things. They don't want to remove anything.
Clutter.
So how do you then, especially if you live with such a person, how do you then let them down gently and say
from the wardrobe? Remove them from the wardrobe. Keep them in a safe place because you're not really using them, but you want to keep them for memory, all right, memorabilia. Keep them to one side, but declutter your wardrobe so that when you go into your wardrobe, you can see things that you want to use for a particular event, formal or social. When your wardrobe is so clustered, you yourself, you become so claustrophobic, all right? Then again, you want to also, in your home as well, go to your kitchen. Your kitchen is clustered with so many plastic containers that you bought things with.
Exactly.
You know, pots that are all over the place.
All those takeaway packs.
Those takeaway packs are storing up in your wardrobe and your cupboard in the kitchen. So declutter your kitchen and make it nice and clean. There's some things that are hanging around. Remove them. So when you walk into your kitchen, you feel revitalized by wanting to eat something fresh and all of that. Even your fridge. Declutter your fridge of old things that are getting spoiled, that you're keeping there forever and ever. Some of us keep things in the freezer for months.
6 months, 9 months.
Right? And you're never going to eat it again. So either you're going to cook it or give it out. You know, sometimes you want to give it out to your staff or whatever.
Yeah, and it probably looks like something that you should do on a weekend, like especially when you're doing the fridge.
No. When it comes to decluttering, make up your mind. Are you going to do it over the weekend, over 2 weeks? Take it step by step, especially if it's the home. Other areas in the home are you're a man and you buy newspapers and you have one corner and you've stacked up your newspapers like
2
this.
years ago, because you're saying to yourself,
I don't
know what's going to happen. I want to be able to read.
Please get them out of the way. Yeah. And let me quickly mention as well, declutter your office space. That's number one. You want to go into the new year being very, very productive, all right? Some of us, we still have so many things on our desk from last year, even though last year was 2 weeks ago, right? Whenever I'm leaving my office, I like to keep my desk clean. So when I come into to work the next day, I'm fresh. My ideas come out immediately. But some people have files on their table, mugs on their table, magazines on their table, pens, and so many things that are really clutter. And honestly, you are not productive. You can't think very well when you've got so many things. That's why they say some people are busy doing nothing because their desk is so full and you really can't think very well if you have a lot of clutter around you. It's very important to make sure your office space, so you have shoes that you've left there, you have a jacket, you have a bag, you have so many things all around your office space. It's time to declutter and walk in with a clean environment.
Yeah, so if you met someone who has this problem of cluttering and they don't feel like they have a problem, they feel like, look, I'm productive anyway, my office is a mess, my closet is a mess, even my car is a mess.
And but they work like
but I just, I work like that. I like that kind of craziness around me. How would you begin to probably let them down gently, and also engage with them too?
It's a coaching space.
Yeah.
It's a psychological mindset. You need to tell them that yes, you think you're productive with all these things around you, but why don't you try something different? Why don't you just move these things out of the way and let's see what happens? You go gently, you tell them, let's try this, let's try that. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? You're giving them another mindset, something that they never would have thought of before. Once they try it, you never know until you try. Right? So it's like, let's try, what do you think let's move this around or let's rearrange. And I say even in the home too, once in a while, I always tell women, rearrange the bedroom, rearrange the living room, just make it look different. Honestly, it's a world of difference. When you walk into your living room and you see the furniture has been rearranged, it gives you a new lease of life.
Right.
And you also want to declutter your relationships. That's a very important one. All right. Some people have toxic relationships. Please declutter them. If they are not productive or they add nothing to your core values in life, declutter them and walk into new spaces of relationships.
I like that. I like that last one. And in fact, I think some people need to use the 5 R's for some of their relationships. Remove and replace. Oh my goodness. Anyway, we're going to be going on a break now. That was a good one. Try to do some decluttering this month of January, and Janet Adetu has shown us the way. Quick break and we'll be right back with more.
Welcome back, people. Now we have Abdul Wadud Afolabi, a professional artist and photographer who tells stories using his art. And he is here to tell us a lot more about that. Good to have you here.
It's a pleasure.
So I was looking at this shortly before I came on air, and I'm like, hope you woke up feeling special today, because you are. To be honest, I did wake up feeling special today, and this actually brightened my day. So now, what inspired works like this?
All right, so I run a mental health community for creatives, artists, writers, and inclusive. So we make mental notes into art to just spread around. We paint around in places, murals, just to inspire people. Like, imagine you waking up having that mood, and after seeing this, your mood.
Actually smiled.
Yeah, so that's just what we seek to change, and we do that, and that's what inspired this. So we create more mental notes. That's what we do, basically.
Okay, so let's talk about your journey. Like, at what age did you realize or decide that you wanted to be an artist?
Age, I cannot put an age to it, but I can say that it was after secondary school that I decided I really wanted to do art as a teen, but it was difficult, you know. You cannot tell your uncle that.
You know, I was going to say, how did your family take it?
Take that.
This is not, you're not saying doctor, lawyer, engineer.
Well, now it looks like it was just very easy, but I think then it was even difficult to mention it. I had to have a place I just secretly draw while I was supposed to be studying for my ICANN, but I'm home and I'm fine. I'm studying fine and apply that now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how has the journey been in the industry? Because we know in every industry there are always up times and down times. So how was it before? Is this what you do full time?
Yeah, this is what I do full time. This creating artworks, and I speak to anything art. I write to. So basically, arts, photography, writing, speaking. That's all what I do full time. Yes.
So what inspires your work? Do you just get into a place, say a plain canvas, and just, you know, I want to do something here, or do you actually think it through?
Yeah, well, it comes with the period. Sometimes it just comes like, I need to put this down, like this. There's this idea running through my head, I need to put it down. And then sometimes you're just looking at that empty blank space and like, I just need to fill this up. I just need to do something. And then, you know, you're just wondering what will come out of it, and then you just move with the flow.
Oh, okay. So now murals. Before we came on air, you were telling me how you heard we Beyonce fans and put her beside. Okay, so tell us about that project so they understand what I'm talking about.
All right, so it's a client's work,
yeah,
and we spent over 30 minutes deliberating how not to put Kim Kardashian in the middle of Beyonce and Rihanna, because it will cause a controversy. But then it's a shopping mall and it's a beauty store, and you feel like these are the people that represent such things, in quote, and still there was the controversy, and then there was the idea of why didn't we use Nigerian role models and everything. But I guess it's still what is still causing this conversation right now.
Yeah.
That's what the contractor wanted, and that's what I delivered. I just did my job.
Okay, so now let's talk about the down times and down experiences you've had in the course of your work. Have you ever, because painting or drawing or whatever word you use, how do you correct a mistake?
Well, in arts, there's barely any mistake.
So you mean, okay, let's assume that we have like 4 boxes and the 3rd box enters into the 4th box.
Yeah.
How do you correct that?
Well, it can still serve as art for what it is, because for everything there's a motive. As Picasso could draw as early as he was, as young as when he was 7, and he could paint like a grown-up person, a professional who paints today. Yet, he said it took him the rest of his life to paint like a child. He's just breaking the rules, and that's seeing the fact that anything can be art. It's just left to the person making the art and interpretation, and how you can communicate your message, or what do you seek to send as a message to the other person and what they see.
Okay, now, importantly, now for people who aren't art lovers, how do you draw them in? How do you get them to connect with your work?
Well, you use something that everybody could easily relate with. Like you could relate with the Beyonce.
Your model.
Yeah, and the case whereby we have the issue of mental health as a very cogent matter right now that is really disturbing, and those are things that everybody wants help. They need to know who to reach out to, what to do, and we need to just have more conversations around it. So we use things that are like contemporary to the moment.
Okay, so do you have like, you know how artists have singles and albums? Do you have works that you did that had particular messages that they were passing across?
Yes. So I do it in series. So from time to time.
So like this one we have here.
Yeah.
This. Now, what's inspired these ones? Was there a series behind these ones?
Yes, not a series because it's a slide, but each one of it served a purpose. Like this particular one is just as regard a girl power.
Okay.
Just trying to.
Oh, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Our sister Beyonce, but it's fine. We'll take it.
So yeah, you seek to pass a message. Given the fact that I'm more into morals nowadays, and there are huge artworks, it's very difficult to make a large scale, like more morals for series. So you can just do a large scale. Now, when we do the large scale, you just find the motive of that message and then you pass it across.
I want to talk about this boots and the flower. What is the story behind this? Because I really want to know.
Interestingly, it was in class in school. Our lecturer asked us to just draw a boot. And I took this, I was just like, I need to draw something out of the box. I needed to infuse two things together. And I saw the flower, I saw the shoe, and I just painted it and then I delivered it to my lecturer with his own grading as it is. But then it is still something that is very precious because I did what I wanted to do.
What you wanted to do. Oh, that's good. That's really inspiring. Yeah. Okay, so I'm taking this one home. Thank you so much. So that I can brighten my day every day that I look at it.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure having you here.
Yes.
And I have learned a lot. But I'm still going to I'm still going to fight with you for putting Sister Beyonce at the side. But I mean, we'll take it. So that was a really interesting chat with you. I wish you all the best on your 36 states journey.
Thank you.
If you want to find more about that, you should use the hashtag #WakeUpNigeria. There's so much more he plans to do for the 36 states in Nigeria. Moving on, Titi has a lot going on in the kitchen.
Yes, Yinka from Yinka Spot is in the kitchen teaching us a thing or two about how to pan sear some seafood.
Yes.
So we have our oil heating up on the stove, and she's about to talk to us about this seafood. So once again, what sort of seafood is this?
So we have prawns in here and calamari. Calamari is octopus.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's in the seafood family. So for you to, things that you can look out for when you want to buy, you need to, this has been marinated, so don't, what's it called? Yeah. So for you to look out for, it needs to be whitish and bright pink.
Okay.
So that means it's very, very fresh.
Okay. Yeah. So if it's dark pink, you mean?
It means that it's not so fresh.
Okay. So make sure it's very fresh. Okay,
right.
let's throw that in.
Our oil is very hot, so we're just going to just throw this in and brown it on both sides.
You mentioned earlier that there was no water in this dish.
Yes, there's no water in this dish. That's one of the key things to note when making this particular sauce. Okay. It's just herbs, oil, so that it has that moisture in it.
What are we looking out for in that pan with the calamari? No, a lot of people know how to cook shrimp. But the calamari, what are we looking out for?
The calamari cooks almost the same way as shrimp. It just needs very few minutes to cook. So you just ensure that it's properly brown and then you turn it to the other side.
Brown?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not too dark, but like it's sure that it's cooked. Okay. So you can see this already.
Already
getting brownish, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It takes very few minutes to cook. 2 minutes max.
Once again, let's go over the ingredients. While you're doing that, let's talk a bit about them. So this is, I have garlic, or rather ginger here.
Ginger,
onion.
This is chopped onions, black pepper, rosemary, basil, and parsley.
Okay.
And then seasoning, salt, white pepper, and then you have garlic paste there.
So we have some mixed
sweet bell peppers.
Sweet bell peppers. They're different colors.
Yeah.
It's going to give it a nice
pop. Color.
What's in this pepper mix?
So this pepper mix is just tomatoes and pepper.
Just tomatoes?
Yeah, tomatoes and pepper. A little bit of pepper and more tomatoes, depending on how spicy you want it to be.
I can see that it's not finely blended.
Yes, because it's a sauce. I didn't blend it very finely.
Okay. So as you can see on the screen there, we have salt, jumbo prawns, ginger, calamari, seasoning, white pepper, granite oil, snails, thyme, parsley, pepper mix, Irish potatoes, black peppers, and sweet bell peppers. Something really smells good already in the kitchen.
It does.
Oh,
this has been marinated overnight, so the flavor. And like I said, it takes very few minutes for it to cook. You can see that it's already getting brown on both sides.
Yeah. Okay. So now we earlier boiled the potatoes. Let's see how they look now.
They look all nice. So I'm going to be putting this in a pan. All right. And just add a little bit of oil, some herbs, and seasoning to it.
Let's do a bit of that now. Let's show people how to do that right now.
To give it a different taste.
All right. So you're gonna add seasoning on top of the potatoes.
Yes.
You're not slicing or doing anything to them.
Yes, I'm not
All
slicing.
Right. So let's show them as quickly as possible. Which of the spices are you using?
So I'm going to use more of herbs.
Yeah.
I'm going to use put a little bit of oil.
Okay.
Just a little bit of oil on it.
Yeah.
And then
which ones?
Parsley.
Parsley first?
Yeah, parsley first. You
okay.
can, anything can just go in.
All right.
Parsley first. A little bit of basil.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then garlic as well.
Beautiful. And of course, I guess we're looking for it to turn brown before you take it off the heat. Now we have to go to another break here. Chef Yinka from Yinka's Spot is doing some amazing things in this kitchen.
Welcome to the third and final hour of the #1 breakfast show in the country. And this is that show that brings you the best of good music, great food, and the best personalities in one place.
Yes, 2 hours have gone by. 45 more minutes to go. We have quite a bit still to come, so you need to keep up with us. Stay right there. My name is Titilayo Oyinson.
And I'm Yomi Owope. You can stream with us live right now, both on our website and on Facebook. tvcentertainment.tv is where you can find us.
Send in those comments as soon as you can. How do you find today's chef? And she's making octopus. Yes, very tasty.
Serious?
Yeah, they've taken it off the heat, but she's making a sauce with seafood, and calamari is part of it.
Yeah,
it is good.
I think I'm going to be that special guest that's going to be there.
You're going to be, wow, really?
Wow, Yummy.
Let's take that risk, that plunge.
Oh, wow.
Now, if you haven't yet, you need to download our app for both Android and iOS stores so you can watch Yomi eat some calamari later on the show. From
I didn't say I was going to eat it.
Okay, I hear you.
Yeah. Anyway, we have a quartet joining us this morning. And for a musical performance, there they are, getting ready, doing that final rehearsal before they display something for us.
Yes, sir. And right after that, Mike has us covered with regards to the biggest tech event all over the world. Yes, indeed. The biggest tech event in the world. Oh, wow. Okay, well, we talked tech last time we all sat down here. So I'm trying to switch it to the calamari talk.
So
the whole studio is...
it's octopus.
Yeah.
So you know a funny thing,
Yeah.
In 2013, I traveled to South Korea for a beauty pageant. And we were having a buffet at the hotel. So I was trying to look for what was familiar. You know how you just travel and say, you know what, just so I'm safe and my toilet are no friends. I started going and then I saw this, I won't say fish, I just saw something that looked like shaki. I was like, this is it. I now took 3 and put on my plate and I'm like, I'm not even eating anything else. And I started eating and then the chef came and said, you like it? I said, I love it. She said, oh, you like octopus? I'm like,
wow!
What? Honestly, I froze at that
so
point.
it looks like Shaki. Right?
Yeah,
It's got that,
yeah.
those holes in it.
I've seen this. I don't know. I think it's Chinese traditional food where they carry small octopuses that are still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the spasms, like the muscles are still
moving.
So you pick them up, put them in the sauce. They are still you see the
moving.
tails are still moving, and then you go.
So when I walk into a place and I see all those kinds of things, I just say, "Do you have rice? Let's just do this. Just give me rice."
There's actually a restaurant like that in Lagos, a Chinese restaurant in Lagos, where they have everything raw and ready, and
don't be all right.
Cook it
With the
on
oysters and
you
all
cook
that.
it right there at the table. Yeah, so they give you your pot, they give you a hot plate.
Nice and
you
fancy.
Oh boy.
Thanks.
Chronicles of a Foodie, don't worry.
We need to visit that kind of
What's
restaurant.
in the news with Ibrahim on standby for us?
Mike, I think we are thinking alike. I'm already thinking maybe there will be an app for us to just type rice, chicken and spice, anything, press enter, and then the food comes down on you and you start eating.
That technology, Ibrahim.
You're right.
Need it.
It was a reconciliatory moment as Senator Hope Uzodinma was sworn in as the governor of Imo State. And the national chairman of the APC, Adams Oshemole, former governor of the state, Senator Rocha Okorocha, and other party chieftains were seen beaming with smiles and congratulating Governor Uzodinma after he received his certificate of return in Abuja. The happy governor attributed his gubernatorial victory to a functional judiciary as he thanked the people of Imo State for giving him the mandate. Toyota has recalled nearly 700,000 vehicles in the U.S. to fix faulty fuel pumps. The recall covers 2018 and 2019 that includes Lexus LS500, LC500, RC350, RC300, GS350, IS300, ES350, LX570, GX40, 460 and RX350 models. Also to be recalled are 2018 and 2019 Toyota 4Runner, Camry, Highlander, Land Cruiser, Sequoia, Sienna, Tacoma and Tundra models. Toyota is still developing repairs. Owners will be notified by mail in mid-March this year. The Russian Prime Minister and all other government officials have resigned as part of sweeping constitutional changes that could see President Vladimir Putin extend his hold on power. In his annual address to the parliament, President Putin thanked members of the government for their work, but added that not everything worked out. The surprise announcement came after the president proposed constitutional amendments that would strengthen the powers of the prime minister and parliament at the expense of the presidency. Taking power from the presidency and handing it to parliament could signal a power shift that has been long speculated about in Russia. Putin's critics have suggested that he is considering various scenarios to return control of the country after his presidential term ends in 2024, including the option of becoming prime minister with extended powers. Now, 5 aid workers abducted by Boko Haram insurgents last December have been released. According to reports, the release of the 5 abductees, 2 females and 3 males, was facilitated by the State Security Service. 2 of the abductees are staff of Alima, an international NGO, 1 from Solidarity International, 1 from International Organization of Migration, and the last one from Red Cross. The workers were kidnapped on December the 22nd after gunmen believed to be Boko Haram terrorists ambushed the vehicle between Munguno and Damaturu. And the House of Representatives has voted to approve a resolution naming 7 Democrats as House impeachment managers. These lawmakers will prosecute the case against President Donald Trump at the Senate impeachment trial. The managers will walk to the Senate in order to deliver the articles of impeachment to the chamber. The Senate trial is expected to begin next week. And that's it on the news update for today on Wake Up Nigeria.
Especially when it's time for music right here on Wake Up Nigeria. And with me I have
John. I play the cello.
And you are?
My name is Ayo. I play the viola.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, show me. What's your name?
My name is Bosun. I play the violin.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm Chibuke. I play the violin as well.
And with me, I have the Happy Quartet. Okay, so now, when it comes to music, there are so many different types. But you guys chose strings, right? So who's going to tell me why strings was so important? Who?
Well, in this part of the world, this is very rare.
Okay.
Very scarce. Like, so we needed to do something different, something not regular.
Okay.
We need to show people this unregular instrument can fit into every of our regular music. Yeah.
Is it the same for everybody?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right. So tell me about this cello.
Yeah, it's a string part of the strings family, and it's a bass instrument.
Okay.
Yeah.
It looks like it's been through a lot. Where have you been to with this? Where have you been to with this guy? Where have you been to?
London.
You've been to London. When did you get your first violin?
When I was 11. Yeah.
11. Okay. And how did it feel when you started playing? How did it feel?
Damn, like the feeling, it felt so great actually, so great. Like having to see myself do what the white guys do, like, and I was not doing it better.
I like that, doing it better. Speaking of better, it feels like you do a lot of covers of songs, but then you have your own original music.
Yes, we do. We compose music. Yeah.
Okay, so do you plan to be composers later on?
Yeah, of
Full
course.
on. No, I mean like on the big stage, internationally.
That's our goal, man.
All right.
That's our goal.
So who are your role models right now in that particular space?
Well, there's this person called David Garrett.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a popular violinist, and there's another person called Yanni. So we are like, everyone should know Yanni, like how big Yanni is. That is how big, even bigger. That's how bigger. We want to get even bigger.
Happy Quartet.
And they are indeed happy. But I want to feel some of this. Let me feel it. Play for me. Just. Separate sounds. Let me feel some of you. Let me feel some of you. Yeah? Oh! Okay, let me hear what you've got. Oh! Okay, your turn. My children have to learn how to play this instrument. Oh, okay, so I feel like you guys are ready. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you set?
One time.
What are you performing today? We're
performing one of our arrangements, our composition.
Okay, does it have a title? Does it have no title yet?
Yeah. We just composed it last night.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, so are we going to be dancing to this one?
Yeah, you can dance to it.
You can dance to it?
Yeah, you can dance to it.
Is there any step I need to practice?
Well, just follow our step.
Just follow you?
Yeah, just follow our step.
All right, so I feel very odd because I don't have an instrument here. So should I leave now? Should I let them perform? Should I do that? Okay, let me do it. We have the Happy Quartet.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
honestly happy quartet there. Those guys are super happy.
They were really happy.
And very talented.
Yeah.
Very talented. You should, as much as possible, get your kids to start learning
Learn
an
a
instrument
musical
very
instrument,
early,
right?
early on in life.
Yep, so wonderful rendition by these guys. But hey, come on, it's Thursday and we're doing tech discussion this morning. And of course, my guys are here with me. So we're looking at different eras. So we're getting the 90s view, on the 90s overview, and we're getting the 70s, 80s overview.
The 60s and 70s. The
All right.
grandpas.
Okay, so now CES 2020, of course, just held last week from Tuesday till Friday, 7th to 10th of January. Now, CES is Consumer Electronics Show. It is the #1 tech show in the world, organized by the Consumer Technology Association. It holds normally in Las Vegas. Now, what happens is that for CES, people come up with new gadgets. So they come to showcase their new gadgets. It's more or less like a showroom. Hey, what do you have? What new is coming up? What new is coming up? Let's get to see it. And then, so what we did was we got together some of the top gadgets in the different categories. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
We'll show you some of them, and then we talk about them.
Great.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, we have phones, we have TVs, we have plugs, earbuds, and all of that. That thing's so expensive. I was trying to get one the other day. But hey, come on, let's go with our first one. Let's go with our first one now. And yeah, that is a robot drone.
A robot drone.
50 minutes, thus setting a new industry benchmark. The V-Copter Falcon also benefits from a 3-axis gimbal for stable 4K video footage, along with a 7-kilometer transmission range and an extra pair of eyes for obstacle avoidance, plus clever auto-follow features for easy cinematic.
So it's just very short clips. So what happens is that, you know, there's a time when you wanted to take a very nice picture, you have to go with the helicopter and then you see the cameraman and all of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've seen this pic mix, and they're like, those jobs are redundant when it comes to photography from height. The drone just does all of that.
It just does everything, and it's also very instructive how technology just completely reduces cost and cuts off major parts of what would have been an expense. So imagine hiring a helicopter to do an aerial shot of Lagos, for instance. You have to, I mean, even 10 years ago, you had to use a helicopter. But now it's completely different. You know, it's completely different now that you don't need a helicopter. You just stand at a particular location and just control it. Even with a 50K drone, you could
do that. Out, Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so let's take these two together. PC tablet coming up next, and sports tech, the latest. Let's take a look at this.
PC Race is actually a product that's had several years to mature. Dell's XPS 13 won its first Best of CS award when it first debuted back in 2015. Dell has kept up with the competition, so much so that we find ourselves awarding the XPS 13 yet another Best of award, this time for the 2020 edition. The newest XPS 13 has a taller 16:10 aspect ratio display, which we find more convenient to use. It also brings even thinner bezels, particularly at the bottom of the screen, making it look like the display is rising out of the keyboard. Speaking of the keys, it now has a wider edge-to-edge layout, and is as comfortable to type on as ever. This new design puts it in line with Dell's existing XPS 13 2-in-1, which came out last year and which we praised for having a sleeker look than the clamshell model. The XPS 13 might not be a new product line or a first-time winner, but of the various notebooks and tablets we considered for this award, this was far and away the item we were most likely to purchase for our sneak pick in the PC race is actually a product that's had several years to mature. Dell's XPS 13 won its first Best of CS award when it first debuted back in 2015. Dell's company has built a modular action camera. The mods include an extra battery, a 4K wide-angle lens, and more. There's even a 1-inch 5.3K Sensor Plus lens mod created in collaboration with Leica, no less, to qualify for our Best Sports Tech category. But what if it were a camera?
Oh, wow. So I know that it's going to be, I'm planning to get a laptop, not very soon, because the kind of thing I'm looking at, the tablet PC. You saw that deal. Yeah. It's so slim now. You know, this was a feature of MacBooks, but now it's getting into the Windows PCs and all of that. Very slim, touch screen, full tablet mode, and all of that. Something else.
It's amazing. I mean, what's happening now, I think, in the past 3 years or so, is that the lines between mobile devices and PCs are blurring. Yeah. So it's all coming together now. So what's eventually going to happen is that everything's now going to eventually be all in one. Yeah. And the way it's going to be is that you can have it as a phone in your hand like this, and then expand it to form
like
a notebook or anything else that you want to do.
When you want to go get a PC or a laptop, what's the thing that you look out for the most?
To be honest, I never actually had to look out for anything. But now, you know, like we're saying, the 90s kids, the 80s and the 70s daddies, I would personally just want to buy that laptop because it folds.
Yeah, that
because
tablet
it's
mode.
Sleek, because
Exactly.
it's cute, because I could actually touch. Because I could actually touch it with my hands.
Yeah.
I think that's super cool. And you know, we 90s kids, we are really all about what makes it cute, what makes it fashionable, what makes it trendy. So these extra things that they add is actually what pulls the attention and make you want to actually go get it. So I think I will save for this.
All right, let's go. A happy quartet is still in the house.
Yes,
amazing.
they are.
Those guys are amazing. We're going back to the Guardian now, where they're going to be taking us on another nice rendition. The cello one.
Yeah.
Those guys are going to be performing for the next Bond movie. Well, hey, you never know. You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
I mean, we're just talking about Africans getting more Africans getting on the getting nominated. So you never know.
The happy content.
I'm liking this potatoes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the seafood because you know.
Because we know where you stand on seafood.
Chef Yinka from Yinka Sports is amazing. First of all, you're amazing.
Thank you.
She has put together something incredible, but you need to tell us a bit about it. Talk to us about the sauce first.
Okay, so this is, like I said earlier, peppered seafood sauce. It's a sauce made with seafood. It's made with prawns, there's snails in here, and there's calamari. And then you have sweet bell peppers just to garnish it.
Okay.
And then this is sweet Irish potatoes, cooked and then pan-seared with a little bit of herbs and oil.
Well done.
So
well
the
done.
main controversy has been this calamari. Everybody was like, calamari, what's that? What's that?
Yeah.
For those that don't know, that's octopus or squid.
Yeah.
Yes.
It could be either or. And this looks really well done.
Well done. Well done. Very nice.
So who's going to be doing the honors tasting today?
See, why do you think Mike has positioned himself?
So
Mike has been interested in the snail.
Mike, our superstar guest.
Mike and Yomi. gonna tell us
let's let Mike.
So, Sam, 23 verse 5. He prepares a table before me.
Wow.
In the presence of my friends. Your enemies are upset. These ones are my friends.
How can we find you on social media?
Go to
We have to say thank you to our friends at Homely and
Yeah, no, but I wanted to ask her how we can find her on social media, though.
Yinka Spot on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Yeah.
Yinka Spot.
All right, Yinka Spot. We have to start rounding off the show now. A big thank you to everybody for joining us today.
Yeah, taste it now. Taste it.
Over 10, over 10. Give us a rating. Mike.
The juice is in this snail. Oh my God.
Thankfully, you used scriptures earlier.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Thank you, everybody.
All right. But
tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Tomorrow is Friday.
And that means it's game day.
See you tomorrow, guys.